Luxembourg is one of those countries that can seem almost impossible at first glance, tiny on the map, easy to miss between Belgium, Germany, and France, yet deeply connected to the political and economic machinery of Europe. Officially called the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg, it is one of the smallest sovereign states on the continent, but its influence is far larger than its physical size suggests. It is wealthy, multilingual, historically contested, and home to institutions at the heart of the European Union. To understand Luxembourg, you have to look beyond its borders on a map. This is a country shaped by geography, diplomacy, language, and survival between much larger neighbors. Geographically, Luxembourg is landlocked in Western Europe. Belgium lies to its west and north, Germany to its east, and France to its south and west. This position has defined much of its history. Luxembourg sits at a crossroads between the Germanic and Romance worlds, between the Low Countries and Central Europe, and between major powers that repeatedly shaped its fate. Its total area is about 2,586 square kilometers, or 998 square miles, making it Europe's seventh smallest country. But small does not mean simple. Within that compact space are forests, valleys, modern financial districts, historic fortresses, and a capital city that functions as both a national center and an international hub. The capital, Luxembourg City, is not just the country's largest and most populous city. It is also one of the 4 institutional seats of the European Union. Several major EU bodies operate there, including the Court of Justice of the European Union, the highest judicial authority in the EU. That means legal decisions affecting hundreds of millions of Europeans are connected to this small city. Luxembourg City's political role is not accidental. After the devastation of the Second World War, European integration was partly designed to bind neighboring states together and prevent future conflict. Luxembourg, located between major European powers and experienced in balancing competing influences, became a natural host for supranational institutions. Luxembourg's identity is closely tied to the Low Countries, a region historically associated with Belgium and the Netherlands. It shares long-standing political, cultural, and historical connections with both. At the same time, Luxembourg has been profoundly influenced by France and Germany. This is most visible in its languages. Luxembourgish, a Germanic language, is the only recognized national language of the Luxembourgish people and the Grand Duchy. French is the sole language used for legislation, while French, German, and Luxembourgish are all used in administration. This multilingual system is not just symbolic. It reflects everyday life in a country where identity is layered, practical, and deeply shaped by its neighbors. The population of Luxembourg is also unusual. In 2026, the country had a population of 693,916, making it one of the least populated countries in Europe. Yet it also had the highest population growth rate in Europe, and foreign nationals accounted for almost half of the population. This gives Luxembourg a distinctly international character. Many people come for work, especially in finance, European institutions, law, technology, and cross-border services. Every day, workers also commute into Luxembourg from neighboring countries. The result is a society where national identity coexists with a highly global workforce. Luxembourg is small enough to feel local, but international enough to function like a major European crossroads. Politically, Luxembourg is a representative democracy headed by a constitutional monarch. Its head of state is the Grand Duke, and Luxembourg is the world's only remaining sovereign Grand Duchy. A Grand Duchy is a state ruled by a Grand Duke or Grand Duchess, a title historically ranking below a king but above a duke in many European traditions. In modern Luxembourg, the monarchy is constitutional, meaning political authority is exercised through democratic institutions rather than personal rule by the monarch. This blend of tradition and modern democracy is central to Luxembourg's image, an old European state form that has adapted into a stable, contemporary political system. Luxembourg's history begins as a small but strategically important territory. The County of Luxembourg was established in the 11th century as a state within the Holy Roman Empire. Its location made it valuable, and its ruling house gained influence over time. The height of this medieval rise came when Henry VII of Luxembourg became Holy Roman Emperor in the 14th century. For a small territory, producing an emperor was a major mark of prestige. But Luxembourg's central location also made it vulnerable. Its fortifications, routes, and position between powers meant it was rarely isolated from Europe's larger struggles. The country's later story would be one of repeated foreign rule, partition, and survival. In the 15th century, Luxembourg came under Habsburg rule, linking it to one of Europe's most powerful dynasties. Later, in the 18th century, it was annexed by France. These changes were not just changes of flags. They affected administration, military control, culture, and Luxembourg's place in continental politics. Over time, Luxembourg was partitioned 3 times, each time reducing its size. This is one reason the modern country is so small compared with its historic extent. The repeated partitioning shows how often Luxembourg's fate was decided in the negotiations and conflicts of larger powers. Yet the fact that Luxembourg survived as a political entity at all is remarkable. After Napoleon's defeat, Luxembourg was restored in 1815, but its status remained complicated. The 19th century was a period when nationalism, dynastic claims, and great power diplomacy reshaped Europe. Luxembourg's independence was finally secured in 1867 after the Luxembourg Crisis, a diplomatic confrontation that could have triggered a wider conflict. The outcome confirmed Luxembourg's independence and neutrality, while reinforcing the idea that this small territory mattered to European stability. In many ways, modern Luxembourg emerged from the understanding that its survival depended not on military size, but on legal recognition, diplomacy, and the balance of power around it. Today, Luxembourg is known as one of the world's most developed and prosperous countries. According to measures used by institutions like the IMF and World Bank, it has one of the highest purchasing power-adjusted GDPs per capita in the world. That figure reflects a highly advanced economy, though it also has to be understood carefully because Luxembourg's workforce includes many cross-border commuters who contribute to output while living elsewhere. The country has become a major financial center, but its prosperity also rests on political stability, international integration, a skilled workforce, and access to surrounding European markets. Luxembourg's wealth is not simply a matter of being small, it is the result of strategic adaptation. Beyond economics, Luxembourg ranks highly in life expectancy, human development, and human rights. These indicators point to a state that has invested in quality of life, public institutions, and social stability. The country's international profile is also strengthened by its memberships. Luxembourg is a founding member of the European Union, the OECD, the United Nations, NATO, and the Benelux Union. These memberships show a consistent foreign policy pattern. Luxembourg anchors itself in alliances and multilateral organizations. For a small country, international institutions are not abstract ideals. They are tools of security, influence, and continuity. Luxembourg's global role is built through cooperation rather than sheer size. Luxembourg also preserves a visible connection to its past. The historic city of Luxembourg was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1994 because of the exceptional preservation of its fortifications and old quarters. These fortifications are a reminder of the city's former strategic importance. Luxembourg was once known for its defenses, and its landscape still reflects layers of military and urban history. This preserved heritage stands beside modern EU offices, banks, and transport links, creating a striking contrast. In Luxembourg, medieval walls and international courts are part of the same story, a small place repeatedly shaped by Europe's biggest forces. What makes Luxembourg fascinating is not just that it is rich, small, or multilingual. It is that all of these features are connected. Its location made it vulnerable, but also valuable. Its history brought foreign influence, but also a flexible identity. Its small size pushed it toward diplomacy, but also made it a trusted setting for European cooperation. Its economy grew by linking itself to international systems, while its politics preserved a rare grand ducal tradition inside a modern democracy. Luxembourg is a reminder that power in Europe has never been measured only in square kilometers. Sometimes, influence comes from being exactly where history, law, finance, and diplomacy meet. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.